back on Radio Row live from Manchester, New Hampshire with a man who gives the mainstream media absolute fits because he speaks the truth. He takes on the Democratic media complex like anybody. Our buddy Andrew Breitbart. How are you, brother?
I'm doing well, Scott.
We're both lamenting the fact we're missing our wives and children. This is tough stuff when you have to leave
My
the family,
wife
isn't it?
has no idea what's going on right now. I mean, she knows I'm in New Hampshire. She knows it's the primaries, and then next week it's South Carolina, and I don't even know the map, the calendar for us over the next month. It's crazy season. It happens once every 4 years. And my wife has no idea how to handle this. I've got 4 young children, and they don't think in terms of the primaries and the caucuses. So it's incredibly difficult, and I have to call like every 4 hours to check in, to just show. Trust me, I'm not like on a carousel, or at Six Flags over, New Hampshire.
You're a good dad, and that's why you care. But this is important for our kids, isn't it? I mean, you're doing this for your kids.
I very much think so. That's why I devoted a lot of the last 2.5 years to the Tea Party, because I think that if the country is saved, and I think it is in perilous condition right now, a crisis of politics, but a crisis of heart, what does this country stand for? And I think that the Tea Party very importantly reminded people that there is there are founding documents, that we were bestowed with great ideas, and we've deviated from those great ideas, and we've certainly deviated from adult responsibility over the Treasury and the coffers. And so that has been a good experience. But now we're in a weird situation where there isn't a person who reflects Tea Party values to a T. I don't expect a perfect world, and we find ourselves now at a critical stage here in New Hampshire, wondering who are we going to vote in. And I'm watching Newt Gingrich attack Mitt Romney with a populist message that seems, sort of leftist in its intent. And I think it's clumsy in that it's coming from Newt Gingrich, and it just looks like he's attacking for the sake of attacking, and he doesn't have a firm commitment to that argument. It's just, hopefully this does some damage.
He's mad.
But
he's mad.
Right, he's mad. But I think that there's for all these people who invoke Ronald Reagan in the conservative movement, who are poo-pooing the message of this film, Bain Capital and Mitt Romney have some splaining to do. We are in a part of the country right now that has been depleted by the deindustrialization of capitalists not buoyed by a sense of patriotism and duty that have ignored the concept of the Reagan Democrat and basically said that capitalism for the sake of capitalism, absent a Judeo-Christian ethic, and absent a cold-hearted, not.
You're kind of making an argument for Rick Santorum. I mean, that's been a big part of his Rust Belt, Pennsylvania message to say we've got we got to be as conservatives talking to that crowd too. I mean,
I don't think that one needs to pander to that crowd. What do we stand for as Americans?
Yeah, I don't mean pander, but I mean...
I understand, but it seems that at times that's what people are saying. We need to talk to those people. Let's indulge these people. I go, no, this is deadly serious. I have a friend who's a very, very well-known fashion designer, jewelry designer in Los Angeles, who has a massive Times Square... Her face is in Times Square, and she and her husband, who are from Nicaragua, he's from Nicaragua, and he left because of the Sandinistas and Ortega. They own all of their competitors, who are a bunch of lefties, all do their jewelry and all do their stuff in China or in the Philippines or what have you. They do it in the United States. There are a lot of people who don't make as much money as they can because they still keep their jobs within the United States and are still conservative. And so when people act conservatively like that and have an America First mentality, which is a conservative, construct, I don't think that they should be poo-pooed. I think that that after 2 years of the Tea Party, which has been an incredibly polarizing experience in this country, that conservatives need to find common ground with classical liberals, with Reagan Democrats.
They need to?
They have to. This country cannot survive as a polarized, civil warring society. We have to find common ground.
I don't think anybody speaks with more authenticity for the Tea Party movement than you do. And you've done a marvelous job in defending them, and citizen journalism has played a big part in that. Who is, of this field, a candidate worthy of the Tea Party?
Scott, don't you realize I was just filibustering, so you couldn't ask me that question?
You have to answer, my brother.
I don't know, but I would say this. I really don't like how the left has a totalitarian manner, whether it be on a college campus or just if you disagree with Barack Obama, there's something wrong with you.
And they're here in force, aren't they?
Right. And so when I see the Ron Paul people, if you disagree with them, they get very angry, and I see people fighting with each other. I can't believe you would support Romney. I just made an argument against Romney, in essence, in the last 5 minutes. But if a conservative says that their calculations, such as Jack Welch's, where he says he thinks he's the most qualified qualified leader of our lifetime, whatever the hell, whatever that means, I respect that. I respect people's calculus when they make their decisions in this country, and we should respect each other's opinions. I don't have one, but all of these people, none of them is my favorite, but I'll stand behind whoever that person is. And one person that's kind of impressing me here is John Huntsman. I remember scoffing at him because he was too cute by half in one debate, making a Nirvana reference. I said, he's trying to impress the kids with that reference. But I think he's a good man, and the more you look into his background, he's a talented and intelligent and thoughtful guy who's, pretty fiscally conservative. So I think that he's been looked at as I'm not a global warming person. He's not a cap and trade guy, though. So right now, if I had to vote, I'd probably vote for Huntsman.
The story so far in New Hampshire has been almost the Occupy Wall Street disruptions of some of the campaign headquarters and everything else, and a lot of that militant sort of just in-your-face, craziness that's going on right now. Are we going to see that the rest of the way through? Is that this whole race?
It was created for that purpose. It was created to be a counter-Tea Party, and obviously the media likes Occupy more, despite the rapes, despite the filth, despite the assaults, despite the pure nastiness. If you go down and start talking to these people, they're mean-spirited. Tea Party people were never like that, but they were created to try and neutralize the Tea Party. So, 6 of one, half dozen of another. You've got the Tea Party on the right, you've got Occupy on the left. This was orchestrated by the highest levels. This is Trumka. This is the unions. This is SEIU. This is Barack Obama. This is the former Acorn. These are anarchists and socialists, even internationalists who are coming here trying to disrupt the electoral process.
When we come back, I know you got to go, but I ask you one more question. If you're the Republican Party nominee, whoever that ends up being, what would you do? I mean, how do you manage that? Newt Gingrich had to cancel.
I would get in their faces. America wants a fighter. I would get in their faces and say, "You rude people."